So this week I just wanted to talk about something that seems pretty divisive. Half-Life's decision to include a silent protagonist. This may be a bit difficult to go over, as it's very subjective, but I like a challenge. So straight off, Half-Life's silent protagonist, Gordon Freeman, is defined by many things. His ahead-of-the-time clout goggles, his hipster-ass ponytail, and, oh yeah, that instantly recognizable suit. Almost forgot that one. All of these things are very Gordon Freeman. Or they were until those glasses became popular semi-recently. Thanks, hipsters. Anyway, I digress. Speech. Gordon is about as sociable as a rock. The only difference is really being that he's smart, looks good in orange, and can kill you in many, many more ways. Twice as slowly. Many have theorized about this subject. Some think he's, not really a people person. I've seen some people suggest that he's autistic. I don't think that's a very good suggestion, but there is an answer, and it does make sense. There are, of course, bad points, but I may just cover these in a later video. Time for facts. Originally posted by Mark Laidlaw, we have these. Gordon Freeman, whatever his strengths and weaknesses, is defined entirely by his design constraints. Silence is the keystone of his character. I know it doesn't work for everyone, but fortunately there are plenty of games with talking protagonists. We don't have to turn Half-Life into one of those. That said, the strong silent type jokes are way past their expiration date. Even the very first and freshest one was slightly curdled. Then we have another one that's actually in reference to a Half-Life movie. This project always crashes up against the hard reality that Gordon Freeman is a cipher, a Teflon conduit for the player's senses. As soon as you try to turn him into an actual character, separate from the player's will, he loses whatever it is that makes him an interesting first-person game protagonist. By the way, I'm not just pulling this out my ass, I do have a source, and I'll link it in the description below. Thank you to Reddit, particularly this lovely user, for providing me with this source. Moving on. The point Laidlaw is making is that Gordon was always just supposed to be you. And this is why I personally disagree with those who say it was just lazy or something to make Gordon silent. Half-Life is anything but lazily made. Believe me, details weren't thrown at you to set him up. He never had explicit motives aside from survival, and you have some examples of free choice in this game. As you may know, you can murder all your scientist pals and suffer no consequences. And the same goes for the security guards, except they'll fruitlessly try to plug you with lead before they take that fatal crowbar to the face. If Gordon could speak, he might love it. Or he might think what he's doing is disgusting. Think about the Postal dude in Postal 2. He clearly doesn't mind murder. But if Gordon did, why would he continue? Gordon's silence makes his moral choices very much the player's own. It makes his control by the player kind of make in-universe sense. He displays no objection nor satisfaction. Gordon is a vessel. To a less extreme extent, as covered in my previous video, Gordon can choose to hurry to the test chamber or annoy people along the way and just generally be a dick. Gordon's character is never established to the point at which it's obvious if he is a dick, but it's not established that he's very polite or punctual either. It's established that he's late, but it's up to the player to decide if he's lazy or just got stuck in traffic. We all know that feel. While it's implied by his scientist peers that he may be a bit of a bore, some actually seem happy to see him. Take from that what you will. Gordon also isn't forced to save any scientists. While there is an incentive, the player isn't forced into it. Again, I think this depends on the player's morals. They may not even look at it as a moral decision. They might think of it as gameplay only, and they maybe want to carry on blasting crabs. Maybe they just want that health boost. Or, in the security case, maybe they want whatever goodies are behind that security door. I asked Reddit what they do when they're in this situation, and here's a basic idea of what I got. One user said, "To me, the scientists are one of the many things in this game that force you to stop and actually think about your moral compass." Questionable ethics, man. And while I upvoted him for the really helpful response, part of me wanted to downvote him for that bloody pun! Someone said, "Really? I prefer the guards. All the scientists do is complain." Followed by a small comment chain of, "Stop!" Other people say they're just useful for health boosts, and they put them out their misery when they're done with being useful. That's a bit psychopathic, but I'm not here to judge. So here we have a clearly wide range of how people treat the various human NPCs in this game, and it's very interesting to see, because that leads us to my next point. Killing or saving scientists and your own attitude towards it is just a really interesting way to see how the game subtly allows us to create our own Gordon. My Gordon saved everyone he could simply because he felt it was right, because, well, that's a projection of my own morals. What was your Gordon like? Savage scientist or helpful hipster? Without a doubt, Gordon's silence is very overlooked and misunderstood by some newcomers to the series, and somehow some big fans. And in today's climate, I don't blame them, as they spoon feed us absolutely everything nowadays in games, and I'm not saying games are any worse for this now, but they're in a way probably better because it makes games more accessible, but it leaves them often bleaker for those who enjoy unpredictable plots with more twists and turns than Black Mesa itself. I wonder how many people have dismissed Gordon's silence as a missing feature or lack of storytelling, when in reality, it's the opposite, but it's often so subtle that you don't even realize you are Gordon, and Gordon is inside you. Well, actually, you're inside Gordon, but I'm gonna stop talking. So, that's all from me today. If you guys enjoyed, yada yada yada, like, comment, subscribe for more. Sorry I was a bit late with this episode, I had so much psychology work to do, but I'll be back with more consistently. I hope you enjoyed this one, and hello to any new people from the last video. I loved making that video, and I love how many people are getting involved with it. I think it's great. Thanks again to r/Half-Life, the Steam community, the Discord community, and to you for watching. Have a nice day.